I'm the department head at a top tire company. Pour me a drink, loser.
The words of my elite classmate, Andy, echoed through the reunion hall. Andy had always looked down on me, calling me useless since we were kids. I expected this reunion to be no different, but I had a specific reason for attending. Unaware of this, Andy kept spewing insults at me as I remained silent.
Someone as useless as you must have a crappy job, right? In 10 years, I'll be the CEO, and maybe I'll hire you then.
Our classmates were stunned by Andy's words. Having reached my limit, I decided to take action. Andy would never look down on me again. My name is Kyle Matthews, and I'm 40 years old. Today, I live a comfortable life, but my childhood was different. My parents divorced when I was young. Raised by my mom, I grew up in a modest household. My mom worked multiple jobs to raise me, but our lives never really improved. As a kid, I tried not to burden her, never asking for much and always helping out. She praised me for that, and I remember feeling so happy. Because of this, I was more mature than other kids my age. But it also made it hard for me to express my emotions. Though we had little money, I was happy just being with my mom. Then something happened when I had just started elementary school. For a field trip, my mom prepared a lunch and a backpack for me. I was looking forward to the field trip, my heart racing with excitement as I headed to school. But then I heard my classmates behind me.
Your backpack is so dirty. Are you poor?
They seemed to notice my backpack. It was a hand-me-down from someone at my mom's work. She had tried her best to find a clean one since we couldn't afford a new one. Thanks to that, even though it was a hand-me-down, it was in very good condition. So, I was surprised and hurt by their words.
I don't think we're poor.
I said vaguely, and they started laughing.
You're right. You're the only one with such a shabby backpack.
I looked around and saw that all my classmates had shiny, new backpacks. I felt so ashamed. Why did I have to go through this? I couldn't enjoy the trip at all because of the sadness and embarrassment.
Did you have fun on the trip?
When I got home, my mom asked, but I couldn't tell her the truth. After that, my classmates labeled me as the poor kid.
Poor Kyle, he's really struggling with money.
Some kind ones would share their leftover lunch with me or give me used school supplies, but it only made me feel more embarrassed. Of course, I was grateful, but it was still embarrassing. And some kids would tease me. I hated going to school. Would I ever escape this situation? I felt hopeless about the future. Soon after starting middle school, I came home one day to the sound of laughter. It was my mom and someone else. My mom juggles multiple jobs, so it's rare for her to be home. I walked in and saw a man I didn't recognize. Mom smiled and introduced him happily.
This is Sean. He's going to be your new dad.
I couldn't believe my ears. A new dad, what does that mean? Then, this man named Sean walked up to me. He bent down to my level and looked me in the eye.
Hi, Kyle. I'm Sean Yates. I'm going to be your new dad. Let's get along, okay?
I was so confused by this sudden news that I just went to my room without saying anything. After that, my life changed completely. Before I knew it, we had moved into a big house, and I was living with my new dad, Sean. At my new middle school, no one teased me about being poor anymore. Even though I never got used to Sean, my mom seemed happy every day. If she's happy, that's all that matters. That's what I told myself every day. Meanwhile, Sean kept trying to get me to open up.
How's the new school? Made any new friends?
Not really.
How about we go somewhere fun this weekend?
I'm busy.
I was naturally shy and took a long time to open up to people.
Kyle, be more polite when your dad talks to you.
My mom would say, but I couldn't help it. But Sean was patient, waiting for me to open up. 2 years later, I was in the 9th grade. Nothing had changed. Except for one thing. I now had a little brother named Michael. Michael looked just like Sean, small and cute. Both Sean and my mom adored him. Michael was outgoing and not shy at all. I couldn't help but feel jealous of him, who was the complete opposite of me. My mom spent all her time taking care of Michael, hardly paying attention to me. With high school entrance exams coming up, I focused on my studies to avoid thinking about it. Seeing my mom doting on Michael made me feel lonely. I had few memories of my mom from when I was little because she was always working. Compared to me, Michael seemed so lucky. That's how I started feeling. Even though it was normal for my mom to take care of Michael, Fu was still small, I couldn't help how I felt. I hated feeling this way about myself. One day, while going through these emotions, Sean spoke to me.
Kyle, I heard there's a great new ice cream place nearby. Want to go check it out?
Sean was ready to go, holding the car keys in his hand.
Kyle, you love ice cream, right? You can have as much as you want.
Sean was right. I did love ice cream. I hesitated a bit, but since I had finished my studies, I thought it might be nice to go out. So, I decided to go along with Sean's suggestion.
Okay, let's go.
When I said that, Sean looked really happy. For the first time, I went out with Sean alone. In the car, Sean talked about trivial things. He was probably trying to make me feel less nervous. But I was too nervous to speak. Sean seemed to understand this and matched my pace. When we arrived at the ice cream shop, I was excited. There were so many flavors I had never seen before. While I was deciding, Sean bought them all.
If your mom finds out we ate this much, she'll be mad, so let's keep it a secret.
Sean said with a smile. I couldn't help but smile back. As soon as we sat down, Sean started talking happily.
Kyle, it's the first time I've seen you smile. It makes me happy.
Sean's eyes started to fill with tears. I was surprised to see how hard Sean had been trying for me. Then, he told me something surprising.
When I was a kid, I was in a similar situation to you.
Huh?
As I tilted my head in confusion, Sean continued.
My mom also remarried after divorcing my dad. So, I know exactly how you feel.
As I remained silent, Sean took my hand.
I'm sorry for making you feel this way, but I really care about you. Please understand that. I would do anything for you because you're also my precious son.
Sean looked serious. I had always thought that only my mom and Michael were important to Sean. But hearing this made me realize he cared about me too.
Thank you.
I said, savoring the delicious ice cream. Sean watched me with a warm smile. From that day on, I slowly started to open up to Sean. Even when my mom was busy taking care of Michael, I no longer felt anything negative. Without Sean's words at the ice cream shop, I would have remained bitter. I was grateful to Sean. Time passed, and before I knew it, I was 40 years old. As a kid, I sometimes wondered why time moved so slowly, but as an adult, it seemed to fly by. That's why I value every single moment. Now, I have a good relationship with Sean, and we have dinner together a few times a month. Thanks to meeting Sean, I overcame my shyness, and now I can be friendly with people I've just met. It's all because Sean patiently reached out to me. When I started working, I moved out and began living on my own. I'm still single, enjoying my independent life. That's because I'm too busy with work to have time for a relationship. I buy products from manufacturers and sell them to retailers nationwide. I started this job right after graduating high school, and now I've been doing it for 22 years. But new tasks keep coming every day, so I'm always learning. One day, as I was walking to a client meeting, I saw a familiar man speaking harshly to an elderly woman.
Hey, if you can walk fast, don't walk in front of me. Get out of the way.
I couldn't believe my ears. How could he say that to someone older? It's natural for older people to have trouble walking. It's unbelievable he doesn't understand that. I couldn't stay silent and ran over to the elderly woman. "Are you okay?" She looked at me apologetically.
I'm sorry, I can't walk fast.
Then get out of the way. You're wasting my time.
The man rudely shouted again. I glared at him. That's no way to speak. You could just walk around her. The man stared at me, and then widened his eyes in recognition.
Wait, I know you. You're Kyle, right? I'm Andy.
I realized the man insulting the elderly woman was my old classmate, Andy. I never expected to see him here, and I was stunned. "Oh yeah, Andy, it's been a while." When I said that, Andy laughed.
You've grown up to talk back to me. But a poor guy like you shouldn't talk to me like that. It's common sense. It's annoying when someone useless like you talks back.
And he started yelling angrily. He had always called me poor and looked down on me. It's been 25 years since we graduated elementary school, and now we're 40. Those aren't words an adult should say. I was too shocked to speak. It brought back memories. In elementary school, Andy teased me constantly because I didn't have a dad and was poor.
Hey, I heard your dad isn't around. Hanging out with a poor kid will make me poor too. Stay away from me.
I couldn't say anything back to Andy. He took advantage of that and kept making nasty remarks. Because of him, my elementary school years were the worst. But I escaped when Andy went to a private middle school. I was glad I wouldn't have to see him again. I had long forgotten about Andy, but the memories came rushing back. Let's move over there, I said to the elderly woman, trying to leave quickly. But Andy wouldn't let me go.
What are you doing now? Bet someone like you doesn't have a decent job. I'm a department head at a top tire company.
Andy smirked. Ignoring him, I took the elderly woman's hand and started walking. It wasn't worth listening to Andy anymore. After walking for a while, I looked back and saw that Andy was gone. The elderly woman looked at me apologetically.
Thank you so much. I'm old and can't walk well. I came to the city to see my son, and you really helped me.
I'm glad I could help. Please be careful on your way to see your son, I said, and the elderly woman thanked me repeatedly before leaving. I felt exhausted from running into Andy, so I grabbed an energy drink and headed to my client. Helping the elderly woman was good, but what a day it had been. I cursed my bad luck. But busy days made me forget quickly. One day, I got a call. It was from my mom. She said an invitation for an elementary school reunion had arrived. After much thought, I decided to attend. Andy would probably be there. And I didn't want to step into enemy territory, but I had a reason to go. So I made up my mind. On the day of the reunion, I walked to the venue, feeling nervous. Inside, classmates were reminiscing about old times. I joined a conversation and saw Andy's smirking face. As soon as he saw me, he started making snide remarks.
How can you even show up here? If I were you, I wouldn't come. Being poor and uneducated, you must be so ashamed.
Andy laughed. Our classmates looked at me uncomfortably. I have nothing to be ashamed of, so I have no reason to hide. When I said that, my classmates sided with me.
Andy, that's right. And being poor wasn't Kyle's fault.
Hearing that, Andy laughed even more and said something unbelievable.
But you could make an effort to get out of poverty, right? You're poor because you haven't tried.
Andy talked as if he understood everything about me. But he didn't know anything. It was wrong for him to make assumptions and speak like that. I stayed silent to control my anger. Then Andy said something shocking.
I'm a department head at a top tire company. Pour me a drink, loser.
He handed me a beer bottle. This was too much. I couldn't stay silent anymore. Is your company Yates Trading?
Yeah, that's right. It's a top tire company you could never join in your lifetime.
When Andy said that, our classmates looked surprised.
Yates Trading? Wow, you're an elite. And a department head. That's impressive.
I aimed for a prestigious university to get into Yates Trading. It's only natural.
Andy looked smug. I put the beer bottle on the table. Seeing that, Andy raised his voice.
What are you doing? Pour me a drink. Someone useless like you must have a lousy job. In 10 years, I'll be the CEO, and I'll hire you then.
Even our classmates were stunned by Andy's words. My patience had reached its limit with Andy's outrageous remarks. Do you know the name of your company's CEO? I asked calmly, trying to control my anger. Andy frowned.
What do you think I am? Of course, I know. It's CEO Yates.
What's his first name? I asked, and Andy fell silent. You don't even know the CEO's name. The CEO is Kyle Yates. I'm not planning to resign.
Oh,
The classmates started buzzing. Andy burst into laughter.
what are you talking about? You're Kyle Matthews. There's no way someone poor and useless like you could be a CEO. Stop joking.
Our classmates also started laughing.
Yeah, that's right. No way that's true.
They probably wouldn't believe anything I said. So, I decided to speak up. Andy, how's the negotiation with Nile Corporation going?
How do you know about that? There's no way it won't go well.
Andy looked stunned. I took out a business card from my pocket and handed it to Andy. Andy looked incredulous. That business card proved I was the CEO of Yates Trading. I know everything about Yates Trading. I'm the CEO after all, but it's understandable you didn't know since I became CEO just a month ago.
Really? You're the CEO?
I'm not lying. It's true. The reunion hall fell silent, and only my voice echoed. Andy's face turned pale. Yes, I'm the CEO of the top tire company, Yates Trading. Let me tell you how I became the CEO, starting from my high school days. In my senior year, I was torn between going to college or starting a job. That's when Sean spoke to me.
If you're unsure about your future, why not visit my company?
Taking Sean's advice, I decided to visit his company. I was stunned when I saw Sean working vigorously as the CEO. That company was Yates Trading. I never knew Sean was the CEO of such a prestigious company. Sean never talked much about his work. He probably thought his job didn't matter in being a good family for my mom and me. As I watched, Sean handled a massive pile of documents. He looked so cool. At that moment, I decided to work instead of going to college. I mustered the courage to tell Sean my feelings.
I want to work hard like you, Sean. I want to work at your company. I don't know if I can do it, but I want to try my best.
Sean listened quietly, nodding.
I want to be like you. Do you think I can?
I asked nervously, and Sean smiled, sharing his surprising past.
I was a weak child too. I blamed everyone else for my lack of ability. Remember, I told you I had a similar background to yours.
Sean spoke with a distant look in his eyes.
But, like you, I decided I couldn't continue like that and started this company. I was your age then. I've worked hard ever since. If I could do it, you can do it too. You're my son.
Sean's kind words brought tears to my eyes.
I won't run away anymore. Now I have a goal, thanks to you. I'll do my best.
If you have such strong will, go for it.
Sean said and allowed me to join Yates Trading. Before I joined, Sean gave me a fine suit and said,
I won't go easy on you just because you're my son. I'll be as tough as I am on any other employee, so be prepared.
Hearing those words, I felt a renewed sense of determination.
Of course, I'm serious.
That's the spirit. Someday, you might even surpass me, Kyle.
Sean said with a laugh. That's when my professional life began. I decided to keep my relationship with Sean, the CEO, a secret from my colleagues. So, I used my mom's maiden name, Matthews. I was the only one with just a high school diploma, Everyone else had prestigious degrees. But no one looked down on me, and I enjoyed my work. In my 7th year at the company, Sean called me to his office.
I want you to transfer to one of our subsidiaries.
Transfer. I've been working so hard every day. That's unfair.
I protested, but Sean looked at me seriously.
I want you to take over this company someday. To do that, you need to learn about our other subsidiaries. That's the purpose of a transfer.
I was shocked by Sean's words. Me, the next CEO.
I'm not CEO material. Besides, you have your biological son, Michael.
When I said that, Sean took my hand.
You're the eldest son, Kyle. I want you to take over this company. No one cares about this company as much as you do. I'd feel secure with you in charge.
Sean acknowledged me as his son. I was overjoyed. I wanted to live as Sean's son forever.
If you're okay with it, I'll do my best to meet your expectations.
I agreed to the transfer. Later, I heard through the grapevine that Andy, who teased me in elementary school, had joined Yates Trading. Since I was on transfer, I didn't think much of it. I worked at various subsidiaries, learning all about Yates Trading. Then, just after I turned 40, Sean appointed me as CEO.
You've worked hard. I'm 70 now, and it's time for me to retire and spend the rest of my life with your mom. I recommended you as the next CEO at the shareholders meeting. It was approved, so starting next month, you'll be CEO.
With those words, I officially became CEO. I took on the Yates surname when I became CEO. Thanks to working at the subsidiaries, I smoothly transitioned into the role. This was all because Sean had me transfer. It's only been 2 months since I became CEO, but I'm the legitimate CEO of Yates Trading. I want to protect this company that Sean has built. Andy, who hasn't put in any effort, could never become CEO. That's why I attended this reunion, to say something decisive. I took a deep breath and spoke. I didn't want to attend this reunion with someone as rude and snide as you, Andy, but I have something to tell you. Andy looked at me nervously.
What is it?
As of today, you're demoted to a non-managerial employee. I came here to tell you that.
What? Why? What did I do? There's no way I can accept that.
Andy turned pale and stepped towards me. Your behavior is not suitable for our company. Now that I'm the CEO, I won't let you do whatever you want anymore. When I said that, Andy swallowed hard. Our classmates turned their backs, not wanting to get involved. Andy finally started to lash out.
Do you know how hard I worked to become a department head? Thanks to me, this company has grown so much. I will never be demoted to a non-managerial employee.
Just then, a loud voice interrupted him from behind.
I don't think Yates Trading grew because of you, Andy.
Andy glared at the person who spoke, then looked shocked.
What? Do you have something to say?
Aren't you the CEO of Nile Corporation, Bob? What are you doing here?
The man with the loud voice was indeed Bob, the CEO of Nile Corporation.
I came to this restaurant to enjoy some time with my mother, but your rude behavior caught my eye. I thought we could have a good business relationship, but I see I was wrong.
Bob sighed deeply and walked over to me.
Kyle, Please ensure this man, Andy, has no dealings with my company. I want someone kind and straightforward like you to handle our transactions.
But Bob, I've been handling Nile Corporation for a long time. I've been dedicated to your company.
That's a lie. My mother told me not to deal with people as nasty as you. Does that ring a bell?
Bob brought his mother, who was sitting at a table, over to Andy. Andy looked shocked as he recognized her.
You're that lady.
Bob's mother walked straight to me and stopped in front of me.
Thank you so much for helping me back then. I had no idea you were the CEO of my son's business partner. I really appreciate all your kind support with my son.
Bob's mother deeply thanked to me. She was the elderly woman I had helped when Andy harassed her. What a coincidence. Andy was speechless.
You were so rude to me when I couldn't walk well, weren't you?
I'm so sorry. If I had known you were Bob's mother, I would never have done that.
Bob and his mother exchanged looks.
So, you treat elderly people like that? I see you're self-centered unless it's someone important to you. You should learn from Kyle and be kind to people, otherwise, you'll remain a low-level employee forever.
Bob glared at Andy. Andy looked down, completely at a loss. So, Andy, from today, you're demoted to a non-managerial employee. You need to start over and learn again.
No way.
Andy, who had been so arrogant before, now stood there crying pathetically. Our classmates watched him with pity. The reunion ended without further incident, and Andy was nowhere to be seen. The next day, Andy was officially demoted to a non-managerial employee, just as I had said. Andy, with his high pride, couldn't accept that I was the CEO and immediately submitted his resignation. He tried to get a job at a famous company, but due to his age, he hasn't been successful. Because of this, he got divorced from his wife and is now separated from his children. This is likely the result of Andy's self-centered and arrogant behavior over the years. On the other hand, I'm busy every day as the CEO of Yates Trading. The board members and employees are supporting me, the new CEO, and every day is a learning experience. I owe my current position to the people who have supported me. From now on, I want to become a respectable CEO who can give back to those people, even just a little bit.